money. All righty, moving on to old business. Yay. So we had our Winter Field Day presentation. That was very nice. That was a lot of fun. We got something to look forward to.
Do you have a secretary's report?
Secretary's report will be eventually at some point.
Okay, if you do that next.
Okay, so I am told that the secretary has to do his report.
What report?
I don't know. Do you have a report, Mr. Secretary? Because Tom said that you have to, so you have to talk about
the minutes of the last meeting.
Minutes of the last meeting.
Sorry, say that again.
They want you to report on the minutes of the last meeting.
Yes, we had minutes in the last meeting.
And how long it took?
Our minutes are posted on the website. If anybody has any questions.
Yeah, the minutes got posted late. They're up there today.
Is there anybody that has any questions about them?
You can say.
They're just up there.
We've never done anything like that before.
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah, two points of order if I may.
Sure, go ahead.
Why was the recording stopped when the treasurer gave his report, which the treasurer's report and the secretary's report are essential components of the business part of the meeting? Why is that not being recorded?
Okay, we have not been recording the treasurer's report for over a year online, verbally, because we put this on YouTube and we don't want the rest of the world to know our finances.
Yeah, Dave, it's the same reason we don't record the value in the minutes.
Because it goes online, but it's always available.
You can't, Mike can't take the recording and then actually have to put in like bleeps.
Okay, no, okay.
I can.
Okay. Okay, fine. Now, that's a very logical understanding.
Yeah, it was something that they had adopted when we started putting stuff online.
But I know, but minutes also incorporate the treasurer's report, so they are official documents of the organization.
Right, and somehow, some way, we do have them available for any members, but it's not on the web.
Okay.
It's not on the web.
Okay. Yeah. Question answered. Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Thanks for indulging me.
No.
What was the other point?
Well, yeah, you said 2 points.
Well, yeah, and the minutes typically
should have a dollar amount.
Particularly when I as speaking as currently as the secretary of the DRA, formerly the secretary of the Kalmar Nickel Foundation, formerly the secretary of the GORAD, it is customary for within a reasonable time after a official meeting that minutes be distributed in draft form for all the members to view and make any edits or comments, because no matter how great a secretary is, they can misunderstand, say, or not get everything. So the minutes, all the people who attended the meeting get to review and comment and edit the minutes. Then at the next meeting, those minutes are presented for official approval.
I appreciate your input, and I know even like with my HOA, we have access to all those finances. Something that I would like to maybe think about, Dave and Mike, that maybe to the actual paid members of our group, if there's a way that we can get our minutes with the financial report out to them, only not put it on the Google group list, but to actual paid members. Maybe we can come up with something between the three of us.
It wouldn't be official though, because the official minutes are the ones that we publish publicly. So whatever we would send to paid members would be not official, which we can do.
What about this?
Well, that's precisely, they were sent out. It says draft right at the top.
Right.
And then they become official when the people have an opportunity to comment and edit. The secretary goes in, and at the next meeting they say, okay, here's the minutes with all the edits. Does anybody have any last minute things?
Right.
If not, we approve, and then at that point, they become official.
Right, and I know that's how we do it with the DRA.
Right, that's how,
Meeting.
like every other.
So what-
organization
We've
has.
never done
Oh,
that
Oh,
here.
wait. All right, Dave, okay, Mike, go ahead.
So we've never done anything like that as long as I've been here. I don't know about beforehand. If we wanted to change things, we certainly can change things, but it's going to require a lot of redoing of things.
I'm not trying to make anybody's job harder. You, Dave, and I can come up with something. And I mean Dave, K3DX, Dave. The three of us can take this offline, see what we can come up with.
Sure.
That will satisfy the paid members of our group. Does that sound good?
So there's two things though, right? You're focusing or referring about the dues. Dave's talking about the minutes in general.
No. It's not the dues. What we're talking about.
I'm sorry. The balance.
Right.
the money.
The financial report is a part of the actual minutes of any meeting. It's not
Right.
It's not a separate thing. We've just been making it separate where our recording of it is not being put on YouTube for the rest of the world to know our financial business. Okay.
I understand
That's why
that.
we pause our meeting. But also
Yeah.
the fact that we put everything online too. And sometimes do we want to even have the financial piece of it also on our club website?
No.
So the three of us need to talk about this. Okay. I don't want to waste a whole lot of time on here, but I also do want to recognize this Mike here. He was going to say something.
So the way I've seen it, and it works with other clubs, is that the people that are paid members have their own sign in. They sign into the system and they're the ones that can see the minutes. And they're not published on YouTube or anything. They're just put on there and you have a sign in. You sign in and you can see it. All the other information that's in there is just stuff off to the side. All the organizations that I've been in have that type of setup. So maybe we need to move to something like that. Yeah, it might cost more money, but hey, it's the way it is. Get out of the Stone Age.
If my only comment was, when
Excuse
I
me.
down this, is like, usually they do, open the meeting, they'll do a secretary's report and they do a financial report. I was just asking about the secretary's report.
and
That's all I wanted to know.
No.
Why did up a real can of worms?
You
Okay.
top story.
Excuse me. All right. Tom, I appreciate your question. You had a very valid question. And being a part of DRA, we do have the minutes, we had the draft, we adopt them in the meeting. And that is the proper way to do it. If you follow
Right.
the proper
Robert's rules.
Robert's rules. So we've kind of gone into Bobby's rules instead of Robert's rules. Okay. So we want to do everything that we're going to still be above board and not try and blast, I'm not trying to blast anybody, but it's just we don't have anything to hide. Okay. And everybody's being legal and everything, but maybe there's a little bit better way of doing things. So we'll do that. Okay. Any questions?
I guess another question is how many people are actually going to read the minutes? I'm sure that if someone sent Mike an email, I'll be more than happy to forward the minutes to them, and then they can review, and if they wish to make changes, they could do that.
Well, Dave Scott can tell you that he sends out those minutes and probably hears crickets back, for his DRA minutes that he sends out, and like very few people probably weigh in.
He does such a good job, we don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have
Well,
to.
thank you, Tom.
Suck ass.
There's that $20.
Okay. All right. So Mike, Dave, and I, we will talk about maybe better ways to be able to handle this, and see what we can do. And no, we're not going to stop collecting dues, as somebody posted in the chat. Now, where were we? All righty. Old business. Can we go on to old business now? Are we allowed to do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Oh my goodness. All
We
right.
still didn't get approval for the minutes of the last meeting.
No, we didn't, did we? Oh my
We don't do that.
Because
We haven't done that. We can't start that now.
Yeah, we're not.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not doing that tonight.
Okay.
Okay, but I can tell you though that last month's meeting minutes were posted this afternoon on the website. Okay, without any financial information on
Okay,
it.
that's fine.
Okay, all right. All righty, upcoming programs, program director.
Next month is Ed Fong, WB6IQN. He's going to talk about a dual band VHF, UHF antenna. He's going to be zooming in just like we did last month.
Right, okay.
That's next month's meeting.
So that's May. June, we're going to talk about, actually part of
May and
May.
June are field day planning.
And so, okay.
In
May,
July
June.
is field day results.
So Chet, who's giving that?
His name is Ed Fong, F-O-N-G. His call sign is WB6IQN.
Thank you.
Dual band VHF, UHF antenna.
Thank you.
And then August, we have a nano VNA
Yeah, that's this mic.
and Mike. Okay. So September, we don't have anything planned for September, correct? Right.
I'm going to be talking about remote ham radio.
Oh, good. Okay.
Nice. October, November, December, I don't have anything yet.
Okay. So John Ferguson did a presentation for CARES on Tuesday of a Go Kit, but he has a second presentation that he also does. So I'll get him with you for October.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So Fergie.
Chet, drop Jerry an email, because generally after the QSO's party's over and the scores are all done, he does a little program on the QSO party with the results. So if you drop him an email, you might want to do that like, I don't know, October. No, we have to talk to him and see.
October might, okay. I'll send him an email. Probably October, and then maybe we'll
do Fergie for November.
Yeah.
Okay, all righty. Yeah, because John Ferguson's not going anywhere. He'll be around for that. Okay. And then we're into December then, which will be Christmassy stuff.
Yep.
Yay. Okay, wow. All righty. Let me see. Membership process. All right, well, let me go through some notes. There is a committee of people that we had talked about changing our bylaws or considering or whatever about how people were voted upon. And I'm going to table that for any further discussion with all the membership. But I do want to get together with those people who were part of the membership crew meeting, which was Alan, Mike, Ted, myself, and who else, Mike? Can you remember?
I think it was Dave.
Oh, wait a minute. Alan, Tom, Mike, you Mike, Frederico, myself, and Ted. So I will email the four of you and we'll set up a discussion. There's something that I was in a meeting on Saturday with another club discussing how they handle membership. And I'm going to run some things by you before we move any further on that. So that was part of the old business for that. Any other old business that you can think of, Mike?
No.
Oh yes, so it was new business last month. Here you go. Dave, we were talking about electronic payments. Where are we with that?
Well, as you recall, I've discovered that if we want to set up the club to receive electronic payments, basically we have to have a TIN.
Right.
And I don't want to use my personal social security number.
No.
We don't have one.
Okay, so here's a suggestion and something that another club, I had to talk to this other club about this too. I want to throw this out to all the membership who's on tonight. How many of you absolutely have to have something like PayPal or Venmo or electronic way of paying your dues? Please raise your hand. You have to have electronic. Nobody
would like to.
Okay, yeah, no, you have to. Okay, so nobody is raising their hand. I don't hear anybody on the screen saying that they have to have an electronic way of paying their dues. So we are going to continue with either mailing a check, bringing a 20 to the club meeting, however you want to do it, but we will not move forward with getting any kind of a PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, whatever. We're just going to stick with traditional. Okay. Does anybody have any comments, concerns?
Wendy?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm the treasurer for the Delaware Repeater Association, and I would say about 50% or more of our dues payments are by PayPal. But that being said, we also lose, I think it's about $1.18
Yeah.
for PayPal fees. So out of a $20 payment that we ask per year, we actually receive, like, I think it's 18 something. I don't have the number in front of me, but it's $18 and change is what we actually get.
Yeah.
So be aware that they do take a pretty significant piece of change out of your donation.
Right.
So plus,
can't you set that up as like a friend payment or family payment?
Use friends and family. That way the payor.
Okay.
I don't think you can do that with a commercial account.
Well, that's the thing. We don't have that. We're not setting one up.
Right. Now, that being said, also be aware that you need to have 2 or 3 people in command of that account. So you can go on, once you get notification of a payment, somebody has to go on to PayPal and tell PayPal to drop or download the payment to your bank, which arrives in about 3 business days.
Right.
So somebody has to be paying attention to that account and have an email that's current with PayPal. So when somebody does make a payment, you have to go online to go get the money.
Right. I remember years ago when PayPal first started, and I was the treasurer for our legal nurse consulting group here in Delaware. Things were a whole lot easier and nicer to deal with. You know, our club had its special thing. We didn't have any issues, but PayPal has changed so much over the years that it's not really user friendly. Delaware Repeater Association, however, is not an in-person meeting group right now. They're still 100%. Actually, I take that back because we did meet in person.
The problem with the DRA, not to interrupt, sorry.
Yeah.
The problem with the DRA is the DRA meets quarterly.
Only meets quarterly, right.
So if somebody wants to pay the dues, and I've gotten several dues that have happened after the meeting was over, that if it was being done physically, either check in the mail or somebody physically handing me $20, right, you would have to wait for 3 months to do that. Now, I have received checks in the mail, but, if somebody wants to pay the dues, PayPal's there because, like I said, we only meet once every quarter. In your case, in your club, you guys meet every month.
Right.
So that, to me, is a reason why I wouldn't.
Right. No, I agree. So at this point in time, Joe, I appreciate your comments. They're duly noted, and we will not move to an electronic form. We're going to continue doing, all of us see each other at some point in time, and we can get the money to our treasurer at some way possible.
Yeah, there's easy ways around that we can talk about too.
I was just thinking Zelle because they don't charge anything for Zelle.
The only problem is that you have to be able to send to the Zelle account at the bank that we use.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to Zelle somebody's personal, like I don't want you Zelling me, really. I mean, I don't want that responsibility. And right now, the bank that we use, I don't think, and this is something I can take up with Dave. I've got to talk to Dave and Mike anyway. We can add, the 3 of us can talk about this offline. So right now, at this point, we will not be moving to electronic. Any questions for me?
There are no dues due in 2022.
There are no dues due in 22 because in 2022 this year because
I'm asking.
Okay, Dave.
So I think Dave's still on, but the people who owe dues for this year, there were only a few people. It wasn't many. It was like 4 or 5 people, and I think Dave already maybe reached out to them. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave, you're still on.
To some of them, yes. Some have not been to a meeting for a long time and haven't paid any dues for 4 or more years. We can reach out to them and ask them. I don't have the email address, but
no. Drop them off the list.
Yeah,
they're just not active members. That's all. Nice and simple.
They're toast. They're dinosaurs.
Okay. Please. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Are we good with this? Any other questions for me, please?
Oh, I have another serious matter.
Yes, Dave.
Donuts.
Donuts. We've got some. You want some?
I thought you have, okay, you have donuts. So somebody bought the donuts and that person needs to be reimbursed by the club.
Well, that's my dues then.
Okay,
Oh,
so our donut
that makes it
today,
difficult.
he says those are his dues.
Yeah, but you know, that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
It's better to have a dues contribution recorded separately from a payment of donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing that even with things like my dues and post office box fees and that kind of thing. But it's just better to pay the dues, collect the post office fee, and there's a clear record of where the money's going. So I guess I would just ask that if the same person's going to be collecting donuts for a few months, if you could hold your receipts and then just send me all the receipts and then I'll mail you a check if I don't see you in person.
All right.
How do we contact you?
All right, hold on a second. All right, one at a time here. So here's a question. To those people who have donated donuts here in the past couple of months since we've been back in person, how many of you would like to have your money reimbursed to you? Anybody need their money reimbursed?
Case closed.
Okay, so it's not an issue. It's kind of like I'm just bringing it because I want to. If anybody does want to donate donuts and would like to be reimbursed, please hold on to your receipt and we'll get them to Dave and he can reimburse you. The club doesn't have a problem with that. Okay.
Yeah, because my email address is k3dx@arrl.net. So
okay, so we're good for that.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, I have a question for you. Some people have some dues money here. How would you like for us to get you that? Because I'm seeing a $20 bill from Bill. You had, is that yours or is that for somebody else?
For someone else.
Okay, and you have, okay, so please email him and find out how you can get him money.
So who's it for?
Ken has to. Bill, who's the money you have?
Gets.
For who?
Frank does not owe dues for 2020.
But he gave you money to give? He gave money anyway.
Some people are giving anyway, and that's okay too.
Yep.
And we thank them.
Yeah. So I mean, I could take their dues and somehow get you. I'll cut you a check. Is that okay?
Yeah, or maybe we can bump into each other at some point in time and transfer the money.
Okay.
So hey, Dave, how about coming to a meeting?
Well, you think I could do that? Yeah. Well, we've got some company here today, and so I wasn't going to take off. You go to the meeting.
Maybe next month, huh?
Okay. Right.
Next month is sounding better, I think.
Write his name and call sign and $20, and write his name and call sign $20, and then get it to me.
Wait, may I ask one question of the treasurer, so I'm clear in my mind?
Yes, you may. Go ahead.
Dave, treasurer. Did I understand you? Because I honestly don't know where I'm at with dues. My understanding, was I correct in understanding that you have reached out to persons who are in arrears? So may I assume that since I have had no communication from you asking for money, that I am good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
yep. The few people who are really in arrears, they're not coming to meetings. So
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All righty. Wow. Yay. So that moved right along. Dave, you and I'll talk, and I'll get you some dues from these two guys. Thank you, Bill.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Mike was going to update the website regarding our weekly net, and which he did. Now, so since that was part of the new business for last month, which is old business this month, I really appreciate the people who have stepped up and signed up to be net control. We have net controls pretty much through April. However, how many of you would want to really continue doing a weekly net after this? So, you know, in the interest of people who are part of this club also are homogenized with CARES, also maybe check in with the Delaware Valley Friends net on Monday nights. It's 3 nights of nets every week. And some of us are even now that I'm on HF, we even check into the 630 HF net on 3905. So my feelings will not be hurt if we go back to twice a month on the 2nd and 4th or the 1st and 3rd or whatever Wednesdays we want to do. How many of you would like to continue doing these every week for the remainder of the year? This is a trial. You can either raise your hand on Zoom. I see one person actually have his hand.
Can I make a motion?
Sure.
I move that we go back to 2 a month nets in May for the rest of the year. Is there a second for that?
Second.
All right. I would like to still have this be discussion. I want to know what people's thoughts are.
Yeah, and that's
okay.
That's
so right now
we
have a motion to go back to twice a month starting in May, and it has been seconded. I'm going to open this up for discussion. Jeff Sarge, you had your hand raised first. You're muted, Jeff. Jeff, you're muted.
Oh, there we go. I just wanted to say that I did like having the weekly nets.
And I know you have signed up for every month as one of our net controls, and I appreciate that. Mike, you had a question.
I vote for every week.
Okay, 2. Anybody else have any comments?
I like twice a month.
I would like to know why.
I made the motion.
I would like to know why twice a month. Why do you believe that?
I like twice a month because I can't commit to every week.
Yeah, I think just as the president said, there are now, and again, we're kind of a large, you know, having done the FSARC-net for, you know, past close to 3 years, I guess. You know, we usually get between 15 and 20 a week. Kind of the same folks that are on the Tuesday night CARES net, which is a weekly net, and a good chunk that are on the weekly Del Valley Friends, which has been going on, I guess, for about 18 months or so. And it just, the reason we initially started the net on the 2nd and 4th Wednesday was because back when the linked repeater system was in operation, there was a net on that on the 1st and 3rd Wednesday. You know, my sense is that you don't want to start burning people out, and you know, having like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and a lot of people were into the digital stuff, which is like a Thursday night net with Chester County. And you know, if you're a 6-meter guy, I think the Del Valley Friends still does a 6-meter on Friday night. You know, and if you're, I mean, this is, now that's one argument. I do see logic in that. Well, if we do have sufficient amount of people willing to be net control, why not run it on a weekly? And if you can make it, great. If you can't, great. So there's that too.
Right.
So,
okay.
But
all right, I'm gonna just add to this. Okay, Tom, how many people checked in last night?
Too many.
How many? Okay.
I think it was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm going to ask. So for the month of April, we're going to continue every week. I do expect a log every week, okay? So please email me your logs if you have been net controlled. I'll tell you why. We have several people who have contacted me to become members. And one of the requirements is that they're part of 3 events, an event being checking into a net. So it's very important for us to keep a log of their involvement so that way we can go ahead and be able to process them with our current structure of voting people in, okay? That they have been on 3 nets, attended a meeting in 2 nets or whatever it was. So please, please send me your log, anybody else. If we want to continue this weekly, I do request that other people do sign up to be a net control. We can't just do it with 1 or 2 people. I'm involved in with another group that we use Echolink because it's the repeater we're talking on is in Alaska.
Cody.
And, you know, and so we have a rotation of 5 of us that are rotating every Saturday night. And so, you know, it takes people being involved. This is your club. I love talking on the radio, so I don't have a problem being weekly, but I'm just one of the members here. I'm not the one who calls all the shots.
To Dave's point, if there's enough people signing up to be net control, then there's no reason not to do it.
So
there's a motion on the field. So to be clear, we have a motion that was seconded. We have to do something with that.
You got to vote on it.
So, all right. So at this point in time, we've made our arguments. How many are going to vote for going back to twice a month in May? Right now we have 1, 2, 1, 2. Raise your hands again.
Keep your hands up.
1, 2, 3.
Guys that are blacked out aren't voting.
No, I see Dave Casey 3X.
Oh, there's one.
Yeah, raised his hand. Okay. All right. Those people who want to keep it every week for right now, raise your hands. So I think I just dropped off my net or whatever. Okay. All right. So we're going to keep it at weekly for this time.
That's fine.
Okay. And we'll revisit this. We'll say in June. We'll see how May pans out.
Yeah, give it a couple months and see what.
Yeah.
If we get, you know,
things are opening.
I love being there. Like I must say that I enjoy. You know, it was not a hassle for me to do it. I look forward to. I had fun doing it, and then after you put out that list, I went on there and like. I got fired.
Well, you know, it's funny because when I threw this out that meeting that we were going to go to a weekly net, Dave, I could see the horror on Dave Scott's face going, I'm not doing this every week. I'm not doing it a week, but like all of a sudden I look at it, then okay, I just got fired.
Maybe next year, Dave. That'd be quick.
So, like, I have no problem with the twice a month, which is I wasn't going to do it every week. That's all. I like doing it.
I know you do. So you get in there and start getting signed up.
Yeah.
And it's nice too to see people step up and get some opportunities to do it. I was shocked when I saw Jeff Sarge signed up for the first of every month. I'm like, whoa, this guy's on steroids with wanting to do net control. So and I mean that I'm not making fun of you, Jeff. I was just tickled. I was in awe when I saw all these emails because I get the email from the Sign Up Genius about who signs up, and I'm going, whoa, look at this. Even Mike over here, who like never talks on the radio, signed up for one. So anyway, I'm proud of you all, and I'm glad to be a part of the same organization. Is there any old business before I move on to new that anybody can think of? Mike?
We've already done a ton of new business as well.
I know. We've kind of homogenized everything. At this point, there was one thing that we needed to bring up, and so Mike Mascaro.
Dave Mascaro.
Or Dave, I'm sorry, Dave Mascaro. For the Cabrillo evaluator.
So let me be clear to everyone here. We're not paying for the program. We're paying for his personal help that he provides to Jerry. So he is the author of the program, which we use for the QSO party to help process and convert the logs. But every year that we have done so, Jerry has reached out and Dave has provided almost instantaneous help and support probably above and beyond what's really required of him. So and we voted on this before, but that's what this is about. We're not paying for the program. Just wanted to be clear.
Right. So okay. So in times past, we've given, just to clarify, we've given him a kind of a donation for his service. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And we had talked offline, recommending $100 to go to Dave. Any questions? Yes. Go ahead.
I have a question. I assisted.
We're not doing them manually by hand.
I did Jerry. I assisted Jerry and Rich 1 year on that stuff. I found it relatively simple, and I don't think that I think we should look to the club instead of paying this guy $100 every year for this contest. I really do.
Well,
I think we can manage this ourselves.
Jerry and I have already decided if the club doesn't spend $100, then Jerry and I are going to spend $100, because it's if you do it 1 year, it's simple. It's when you run across the problems later that you can't figure out, and you send Dave an email and the log, and he figures it out in 30, 40 minutes to an hour and sends it back to you. So it may not be worth it to the club. It may not be worth it to you, but it's worth it to Jerry and I to have somebody that we can send these things along and he can figure out the bugs after we beat our head on it for a week.
I think it's a waste of money, but you guys can do what you want to do.
All right, so I make a motion that we give $100 to Dave Mascaro for his assistance to the club.
Second.
All right, so it's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Nay.
All right, so the ayes have it. We will go ahead and give $100 to Dave.
Okay, I'll get with Jerry and get the address. I haven't, we didn't send a check last year, and we did the year before, but I did not save his mailing address. So I'll take care of it.
Thank you, Dave. Next order of new business, the Hamfest on April 23rd down in Georgetown. How many people want to go down to George? Okay, all right. Anybody not going down? Okay, all right. So here's the story with this. I talked to Jamie down at Sarah, and the club can have for $20 2 tables, an 8-foot table and a 6-foot table.
Do they come with chairs?
They do have chairs. Okay. So I'm asking all of you, do we need to have more to represent our club than the 6-foot and the 8-foot table? You know, okay. And does anybody have anything that they would like to bring down to sell?
Yes. I've submitted a request for a table, and 2 hours after mailing the check at the post office, we spoke, and he suggested I request my table be next to yours.
Yes.
If I get my way, then what's mine is yours, and we can all just break it up.
And Jamie said that was fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent.
So we'll have whatever size table Ted has. I don't know if it's an 8-foot or a 6-foot. I don't know what they give private people. But his table will be next to it. So anybody who wants to come down and bring stuff.
If you have stuff you want to consign, just, you know, put your name on it, your rock bottom minimum price, you know, and then your asking price, and, you know, whatever, you know.
Don't take 30%?
No. We're all in this together.
All right. So I make a motion that we, as the club, #1 for Hamfest, spend the $20 because I'll need a check sent to Jamie like in the next day to reserve our tables. I make a motion for the tables for Hamfest.
Yes, second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Hearing no opposition, we're going to go ahead and pay $20 for the tables. Now, here's the next thing regarding Hamfest.
Wendy, excuse me, would you email me the information on where to send the check?
I will, Dave. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you and I are going to be in a lot of conversation for stuff. I don't think you and I ever talk much, do we?
Email.
Email, that's true. The next thing regarding Hamfest is they have a program booklet. And in there is a 1/4-page ad. It is $25 if it's black and white, or it's $35 if we do a color. Now, when I was down at Nanticoke's meeting on Saturday, they're taking out a quarter of a page ad, and they're just going to do like a little mini business card thing. And I was thinking maybe we could do something like that. And they were just going to do a generic, you know, congratulations on the Handfest, all the best to Sarah, or whatever. They, you know, they were just going to do just kind of a solidarity type thing. So open.
I want to show off my beautiful logos in color.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would go for the color. Yeah, definitely. I think
I say we ought to go for half a page.
Yeah. I forget what I forget what
Cover
the page was.
Picture two from that Gert in there somewhere.
Yeah. We're spending $100 to have some guy show us how to do database stuff. What's another $50 for this?
Oh, Mike, now come on.
I want serious discussion here.
Those like programs usually like wind up in the parking lot.
Well, I don't.
If you already
I don't
put a
know.
table, we can have flyers at the table.
Oh, I like that idea. Flyers at the table.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yes, we can do the flyers too. So, all right, I make a motion about getting a quarter page ad for $35 a color for their thing. You know, it's not so much. I'm going to make this argument here. It's not so much that it might get thrown away. It benefits their club. They make money on it.
What you're implying is one club helps another.
Yes. So I make a motion that we spend $35 to put a quarter of a page ad in.
I say we do a half page.
I don't know what the dollars were for that, but we could do a half page.
So that would be $70, probably.
I don't know.
I'll second the quarter page.
And a bigger logo.
Yeah, and a bigger logo.
A bigger logo. All right, so Dave Scott has seconded my motion for
35.
For a $35 quarter page color ad. Any discussion?
I think it should be a half.
All right.
We're the premier club in this state. Let's show
Go
it.
big or go home.
Yeah, go big or go home. You might as well.
Can we get it embossed too?
Yeah. In color.
All right. How many are opposed to a quarter of a page ad?
Me.
Because he wants a half. How many would be all right. How many are in favor of the quarter page ad then? Okay. Would any of you who want the quarter page ad want the half page ad? If it's not much more than $50?
Not more than $50, sure.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'd have to go look at the flyer. I think it's more than that, to be honest.
Who made the motion?
If it's more than that, it has to be voted on.
Revise a motion.
Right.
All right. Point of order.
I motion that we authorize an expenditure up to $50 for an ad in the Ham Fest program.
There you go.
Whatever we can get for $50.
Okay.
Up to $50.
Up to $50. How's
Yeah,
that?
I think
How's that as a compromise?
I think it's probably more than that for the half page, but yeah, I could run that by you.
Okay, so that's my vote. A motion to spend, authorize up to $50 for the ad in the program.
I second.
Okay.
All right. Joe Grib, are you still with us? Do you happen to have what Sarah's charging for their ads by any chance?
Can you give me a minute? I'm going to look it up.
Okay, thanks. Before we go in off of this.
Definitely run out of power.
Yeah.
There's a lot of donuts for $50. I'm just saying.
He is a CBA.
Wait, hey, look, we've got $40 right here that's going to go in.
Yeah, we just about probably $100 for the Cabrillo thing. Yeah. We're spending like Congress. Jesus.
No, we actually have the money.
Yeah.
I love you.
Jet, no, I'm kidding. We got the money. This
club is awesome, I'll tell you.
I love it, Jet. I'm great.
This is good. All right, well, Joe looks that up. Does anybody have any discussion? So, okay, so here's, while he's looking that up for us, so getting back to field day, how many of you could be there like first thing Saturday morning?
We can start Friday night, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm actually gonna try to stay overnight Friday night and be there Friday.
Well, there goes our carpool plans then.
Oh, but, oh.
No problem. I was gonna, you know, I thought you were gonna start, I thought we got car, but that's okay. I think there's enough guys up here that,
Yeah.
$4 gas, I was gonna try.
All right, so what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to generate an email to the club email list regarding field day. And I don't want discussions back and forth about weird stuff, but just how many, I want you to weigh in on how many of you want to come or planning to come, if you're coming Saturday or if you're going to be able to go down Friday.
You mean Hamfest.
What did I say?
You said
field day.
My mind is like all over the place. Thank you. So
you're going to regret taking over this job. I'm telling you.
Hamfest. So how many of you are going to go down to Hamfest? How many of you could go down Friday? How many of you could go down Saturday? And how many would be even willing to carpool?
Wendy?
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
The only thing I saw on the flyer was about vendor information and a little bit about table information, but it didn't have anything about the flyer. So I don't know what you want to do. You know, if somebody really seriously wants to go for a half page, then maybe raise the authorization up a little bit. But I would say without talking to Jamie, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to touch base with Barb. She's the one who's actually doing the stuff.
True.
Let me see something. Maybe she's, hold on a second. She might have sent me something. Oh, here you go. All right, stop the presses. Half page black and white is $50. Half page color is $70.
Negative.
70. Do I have a redo of a motion to spend $70 for half page color?
Let's pay 50 and make Mike pay the 20 difference.
Because he wants to go.
He wants to have.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I think we ought to have half page color.
All right. Okay. All right. Mike, Federico, we are like undoing and redoing motions here.
We still have a motion on the floor.
We still have a motion on the floor.
I'll make it. I'll rescind my motion. Make it easy on the.
All right. Okay. Dave Scott has rescinded his motion about spending up to $50 for a half page ad. I now make a motion that we vote on having a half page color ad, spending $70 for the Hamfest program booklet. And does anybody want to second that motion?
I second.
Mike seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed to the half page color ad for $70? Going once, twice.
Somebody has to do it.
All right. Ted Allen was the only dissenter. All right. So we are.
I was too.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Thank you.
Solidarity.
Too.
All right. But Mike wanted to spend $100 to. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just for general principle. All right. Sounds good. All right.
You guys don't understand the work that goes into that QSO party.
No, I do.
How much was the half page ad?
70.
Okay.
And that's a color ad. And one last thing that I had for my new business. Huh?
Who's going to prepare the ad?
Actually, Barb Dean, who is part of the Sarah Club, she is offering her help to help us make it look nice. I will submit to her our logo, and then we can come up with some cutesy phrase, congratulations.
That money, I want to scratch and sniff it because I burned up electronics.
Okay.
That's an extra 10.
Yeah.
That's an extra 10. All right. So the last thing I have, actually 2 more things. Just a reminder that this coming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are the repeater tests. I appreciate everybody from our club who signed up to participate in those Monday afternoon and Monday evening. If anybody would like to that hasn't signed up and would like to be considered to sign up for any of those repeater tests, please email us immediately. We can kind of squeeze you in. We have about 10 to 11 people for each day. Some maybe a little less in the afternoon, some maybe a little bit more in the evening, but that's about all we're actually working with. So if anybody's on the fence and they'd like to get on board, please email us immediately. And also as a reminder too, and I sent this out yesterday, when the FCC finally gave the final date that April 19th is the day that fees will start going up for our licenses.
Going up.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like from zero?
Yeah, it'll be $35 starting April 19th. So anybody
I didn't hear either of the section manager nominees voting to get rid of that.
We're going to play that way?
Just kidding, Joe. Just kidding.
No, Wendy.
Yeah.
To be honest about that subject, I did send an email to Jamie because if you look at the flyer says there's no fee for the testing. So I sent an email to Jamie this morning asking him what does he plan to do about that, because that's not a VEC fee that's being collected, and really the club has no choice in collecting that fee for anyone over the age of 18. So I don't know how that's going to affect the Hamfest, but it's something that has to be paid now.
Why is, you mean, are you telling me, I've never been to a VE session ever. Are you telling me that there's a requirement to collect money for a VE?
There is normally a fee collected by the VECs to help to pay for the program.
Okay,
but
so if they're underwriting it, they're not required to collect.
They are required to collect this FCC fee of $35.
The fee I'm talking about is the FCC fee, not what the club is charging. The club fee, I can break it down real quick, but the club fee is usually about $14, $16 for a testing session. Right. But also, the club does have the right to retain a small portion of that to help pay for expenses. But in this case, I don't think there's much of a choice on that fee from the FCC because it's mandatory for anyone over the age of 18.
Good point.
Right. Yeah. So for example, my license is due for renewal in August. I can't apply to do an early renewal, so I will be paying $35 in August to renew my license.
Correct. Anybody over the age of 18 is required.
Yeah. So anybody who's thinking about doing a vanity call, or they're thinking about upgrading to their extra or general, if you happen to be a tech, now's the time to do it to get, if you can test by the 14th or 15th, because Monday is the 18th, and then anybody who actually tests on Monday the 18th, the processing, they'll actually have to pay the $35 because it won't get processed until Tuesday business day. So you really want to test before, on the 14th, 15th, or even that Saturday the 16th, if you can get a testing session. And if anybody needs to test online, I can put you in the right direction for an online thing. But I just wanted to throw that out there to you. All right, is there anybody else who has anything else that they'd like to discuss in the way of new business?
Where are we going to have field day?
Oh, field day. Where are we going to have field day? Alan. Is he still with us? WISR?
No, he had to leave.
He had to leave.
Will we table this matter for a future meeting?
We need to make a reservation.
Yeah, we have to actually reserve where we're going to go. So I'll just bring up before the membership, what we will do offline is I will talk to Alan and Chet and Mike, and we're going to see about what it's going to cost for us, and if even the availability for Lum's Pond in the primitive section. I believe it was $40 each of the 3 sites that is in the primitive, and we want to have control of all 3 sites if they're available. So that would be $120. However, Chet is able to get us access to the school, but we need to reserve it now sooner than later. If we
is there a fee for the school for spring?
There is no charge.
No fee.
I was getting ready to say that the school is free.
We could reserve it in May.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not urgent that we do it right now.
Right. But so these are things that we're throwing out. There are several people that are from below the canal and down the Newark area who would like to have something down in that area instead of always coming up here. We can rotate back and forth, field days, you know, north and south. There's no problem with that. I'm open to either one. So with that, if there's no new business,
Make a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn by
Second.
Tom
Second.
and seconded by 3 different people. We'll say Dave
So
Scott.
let's, I just want to remind people about, oh, look, Rich just pinged it too. The CUSO party, the dates for this year's Delaware CUSO party is May 7th and 8th.
Okay, so we need to get some stuff emailed to people now. Mike, if you guys could do that, the CUSO crew could send something to the Reflector.
Yep.
Start because that's only like 5 weeks away, right?
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
And
so
Mike, that's the same weekend it's always been, right? First weekend in May?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, the reason I asked is because there was some talk about changing that date, and I was just going to comment that then you lose all those participants from the New England and the 7th area.
Yeah.
So
that's why we moved it.
For us.
Yes, that's why we moved it to that weekend. It was the first weekend in February.
Hey, Mike, quick question. I'm going to put that in my email. Is there a contact email or something I can put in there if anybody has any questions or wants any information about it?
Yeah, I'll send you the link and the email address.
Fine. Just use ki3b@aol.com.
AOL, that still work?
Last time I checked, it worked this morning, but your mileage may vary.
No problem.
Thank you.
I was going to say, since
Noise in the room is so
I was going to say the Verizon actually runs
We have a
AOL.
point
these
of
days.
order here. Can we have a motion?
Anyway, yes, yeah. So we kind of got
Yeah.
off. So we did have a second and third and fourth motion to end meeting, adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All righty, let's go.
Thank you.